Hello everyone and welcome to our podcast. Today we will be talking about how people learn languages. Have you ever wondered how you learn your first language as a child or new language in school? Well, that's what we're exploring today.
Let's start with some quick definitions. So, first language acquisition is how we naturally learn our mother tongue when we are babies. We learn it by hearing people around us talk, like our parents or family members.
Second language acquisition or SLA means learning a new language at your first one, like learning English in school when your first language is Tamil only.
So there are two types of learning environment, natural and instructed. Natural learning happens through real life experience, while instructed learning happens within classroom with teachers, textbook and lessons.
So hi, welcome to today's episode where we all explore about how people learn second language. Whether you are a teacher, student or just curious about languages, understanding how we learn help us become better communicators. Let's begin with one of the earliest and well-known theories in second language acquisition, which is behaviorism.
Yes, behaviorism is an important starting point. It's a theory developed by B.F. Skinner, who believed that language learning, like other type of learning, is shaped by habit formation. According to behaviorism, we learn a language by imitating what we hear, repeating it, and also receiving feedback, either positive or corrective.
Exactly. In practical terms, that means if a learner hears a sentence like she is reading a book and they repeat it correctly, the teacher might respond with praise like, well done. But if they say she reading book, the teacher might gently correct them by modeling the correct sentence again.
This constant cycle of stimulus, response, and also reinforcement helps the learner form correct language habits over time. It's very similar to training. You hear, you repeat, and also you get feedback. And slowly, the correct forms become automatic.
You can still see this approach in many beginner class today. For instance, when teachers use coded repetition, flashcard or sentence drills, they are actually applying behaviorist principle, especially for young learners or those new to English. This method builds a strong foundation in structure and pronunciation.
Yes, and it's really useful for basic sentence patterns like greetings, introduction, or even verb conjugations. I remember observing a classroom where students practice I like apples, I like bananas over and over again. It might seem repetitive, but it works. It builds confidence and fluency.
It's like a training, just like how baby hears mama many times and then they start saying it. Practice and feedback help from others.
In many classrooms, teachers still use behaviorist methods such as drilling vocabularies or giving rewards to correct answers. It is a very common approach for beginner lessons.
However, one limitation is doesn't focus much on meaning and communication. They emphasize on accuracy and form, not on real world use of the language. That's where the theories came in, like Vygotsky's social cultural theory.
Vygotsky brings in a very different view. He believes that learning is a social process and we develop language best when we interact with others. So instead of memorizing sentence and isolation, learners grow through conversation, collaboration, and also guidance.
Okay, well, one of his key ideas is the zone of proximal development, which is or ZPD. This refers to the space between the what learners can do alone and what they can do with help. Whether that help comes from a teacher, a parent, or even a classmate.
Let's say a student struggles to describe their weekend in English. On their own, they might only say I go park, but with support like teacher asking guiding questions or a partner modeling a full sentence, they learn to say I went to park on Sunday. You'll often see this in classrooms that use group work, peer tutoring, and also discussion-based activity. It's about creating a space where learners help each other, share language, and also make meaning together.
A student don't know how to form a pastime. The teacher show example, help the students try and then let them practice themselves. Slowly, the student can capable to form the pastime.
Activities, peer ideas, and discussion are based on these theories. Students help each other and they learn more by talking and sharing ideas.
This is especially useful in intermediate or advanced classes where communication is more important than memorization.
Absolutely. And this theory also encourages scaffolding, where the teacher adjusts their support based on the learner's need. In the early stages, they might guide heavily, but as learner improve, the support fades. It's like teaching someone to ride a bike. Eventually, you let go.
Okay, now let's apply these theories to classroom practice. We'll look at two activities, one inspired by behaviorism and the other one by social cultural theory.
For behaviorism, a classical activity is repetition drill. The teacher say a sentence like "I am cooking" and students repeat it together. Then the teacher changes the subject and verb. She is cooking, they are eating, and students continue repeating. These drills help learners internalize grammar through practice and correction.
Yes, you can also use rewards like giving stars, stickers, or even praising them for correct responses. This reinforcement keeps the student motivated and help them form the right language habits. It's simple but especially effective for young learners for absolute beginners.
The second activity is think, pair, share. Let's say the teacher asks a question, the student think, then discuss with their partner and then share with in front of their peers. This follows Vygotsky theory. Students learn by talking and helping each other in the ZPD.
Yes, this activity encourages students to use language in meaningful ways and they also learn from each other. A stronger student might model correct grammar, while the other picks up vocabulary or sentence patterns. This peer interaction is exactly what Vygotsky theory promotes.
In both cases, these activities are more than just exercises. They are just based on solid theory. They show how different approaches can support learners at different stages, depending on their needs and classroom context.
Both activities are great for instructor language settings. They let students to use the language in real way and not just by grammar rules.
Hello, it's time for college segment and let's go for a life learning line.
We are checking in with someone who had real experience learning or teaching a language. Hello there, can you introduce yourself?
Hi there, I'm Andrea and I'm a TESOL Bachelor degree student at the UNICEL right now.
Thanks, Andrea. Can you tell us, do you see behaviorism or Vygotsky theory in action in your classroom?
Actually, both with my beginner student, I definitely rely on behaviorism. We do repetition drills like I'm walking, I'm eating, and I'm reward them when they get it right. It builds confidence fast.
And what about social interaction?
Great. Great question. I also do peer interviews in class. Students pair up and ask each other simple questions like, what your favorite food or what did you do yesterday? You can really see them helping on another, especially when stronger students model the sentence.
That's exactly what Vygotsky meant by scaffolding, learners supporting each other in the ZPD.
Yes, and I've noticed that students who struggle in individual tasks often do much better when working in pairs. They feel safer and learn more naturally.
Thanks, Andrea. That was super insightful. Real life stories like yours show how theory become practice.
Happy to share. Keep up the great work, guys.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Today we talk about how people learn languages through behaviorism and Vygotsky's theories. Each theory has useful ideas for teaching.
It's important for teachers to understand how learning works. That way, they can choose the best methods to help the students.
Classroom or out in the world, learning a language is a journey, and knowing how we learn makes the journey easier.
Thanks for listening to our podcast today. We hope you learned something useful. See you next time. Bye.